What's out there, what I'm putting on the line in front of 40,000 fans, in front of millions of Japanese watching television all over the country, is my pride, my guts, and my heart. Because you don't become the king of the death match by knowing all the moves. You become the king of the death match by kicking out of all the moves, by denying pain, denying suffering.
In a room all alone, waiting by the telephone, with a tear in his eye and a pen in his hand, so begins the diary of a working man.
The Workers Club. I love the name.
Time has come when it was right. It was a cold and rainy night, and he thought for sure she
All right. It's Larry, it's Wilson, and it's Gus. And we got Mick Foley's book.
Have a nice day.
Have a nice day. We all have fond memories of this book.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, I can definitely kind of picture time, place, high school. I
see.
think it was somewhere between my freshman and sophomore year.
It was published in 2000 or 99, 2000, so I'm 15 or 16, something like that. It definitely, I have fond memories of it. I was stoking the flame of, I'm going to try and do this thing. He's just like me.
Yeah,
Larry,
that happened. That happened
yeah.
to me too.
Yeah.
I made my sophomore English teacher read it. That's how into this I was.
You were like, this is legit.
Yeah.
And did they read it?
She did, and what a wonderful teacher, because she didn't give a shit about wrestling. I wish I could write her a note.
Do you think she was really turned on by all of his conquests that he talks about?
I don't know.
I would say mostly I remember, his journey and going, oh yeah, this could be me. And then also the Al Snow stuff. If you had asked me, do you remember all the times he gets horny in the book? I would have been like, no, I don't think he gets horny in the book. But there's a theme in all these books we're doing. Wrestlers be horny.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Okay.
don't know.
Well, I have some bad.
Hey, have you read the follow up? Foley is good.
I'm thinking
Gus.
about this. Did I? I don't think I did.
Okay.
Gus, did you read it? I read his Christmas book.
Oh.
I read a few chapters. I don't remember it necessarily hooking me, and I may have finished it, but yeah, it certainly didn't kind of leave the lasting impression that the
Why am
first.
Is it short? Is it a short book? Or is it?
It's maybe 60% as long, but like half of it is defending the WWF against the PTC.
Yeah, I feel like maybe I did read it, and it was just like, this is such a. I felt maybe my gut is telling me I felt like it was like a cash. I thought it was like a cash grab of like, hey, I had this other book, now you'll buy this book, and it wasn't. There was nothing there.
I remember there was a chapter about pain pills in wrestling. He's like, yeah, we got a pain pill problem, but so does everybody. And that's it. That's the gist of it. It's like, all right, buddy.
Yeah, I'm kind of nervous because I mean, I guess I don't really. I know these wrestlers. Do you like them as not really, but of the people of wrestlers, I'm like, yeah, Mick Foley seems like an alright guy. Who knows though, But yeah, I'm a little nervous
Listen,
that I'm gonna read this book and be like, Yeah,
It's a relative scale when
Yeah,
it comes to wrestlers. But I think he's high on that relative scale.
yeah. I definitely had Bret Hart on my mind, like I said. Reading his, we read his book and then reading this book, and just how Bret engages with the world and how Mick engages with the world, and what they decide to put down on paper about that.
Yeah.
And, do you want to hear some bad reviews?
Sure.
Some people that did not like this is a pretty well regarded book, so it's pretty easy to find a lot of good reviews, of course. But then bad reviews, I was kind of curious of people that did not like Mick Foley's book. We got James's review from 2017. Said he read it when it came out. While 1 star, while Mick Foley sustained many injuries in his wrestling career, his biggest came while writing this book when he dislocated his shoulder, patting himself on the back. He was the greatest thing ever to happen to sports entertainment, and if you don't believe it, just ask him. What do you think? Is that fair?
Again, on the relative scale, no. For a wrestler, no. But okay, here's an interesting thing. I tried to make my dad read this book.
Man, you had some.
That's all.
I was pretty much
I know.
banned
and
from even saying the word wrestling to my father.
Listen, Dad is not a fan at all. Although he did take me to see Beyond the Mat in the theater.
Yeah.
So think about I'm 13 or 14 and the Jake scene when he's talking about threesomes with toys.
And
But
you're going, hell yeah.
Dad was turned off by the fact that he thought Mick reveled in his injuries. My dad didn't respect that. So
Interesting.
Yeah, he kind of does a little bit. He wears them as badges of honor.
yeah.
I mean, it's literally on the back cover. I mean,
Oh
at least-
yeah. They have the diagram.
yeah.
2/3 ear ripped off. Some of them, when he goes to list them later, some of them I'm like, Mick, that's like an everyday thing. Like,
Now, do you think your father's a better father than Dr. Foley?
Yeah.
Yes, because he wouldn't let me go into wrestling.
That's actually, yes. And that's, something I kind of picked up on, too, is Mick's dad actually did quite a bit to kind of set him up and get him going. And was
I
fairly
mean,
supportive.
he doesn't hold a torch to Father of the Year Stu Hart, but what are we gonna do? Oh well.
No, that's true though. It is.
Let's see. This guy, Rajiv, said he read it in 2011, reviewed it in 2011. I'm not a wrestling fan, never was, and now I'm convinced I never will be either. Perhaps reading of this book should be left to those diehard wrestling fans who might be able to look beyond the mediocre writing and appreciate the gory details. Okay. Yeah, Patrick Moore, 1 star. Why is the book missing the first 18 pages? I don't know what that even
That's
means.
a very specific problem to.
Maybe to fund Vince McMahon's second XFL attempt.
Oh, hey now.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're going to skip out on the pages.
Brian L. I thought this was going to be an audiobook, 1 star. Well, that sounds like he just didn't buy the right version.
I guess not.
And then finally,
Where are these reviews sourced from?
Goodreads and Amazon.
Okay.
Jeff Pogue. Sorry, Mick, your book is sick. While it is impressive that Mick Foley wrote this book himself, it is also obvious. It is littered with typos and could have benefited from a professional proofreader. This book is the story of Mick Foley, and only Mick Foley. He wants you to believe that professional wrestling is more abusive than it really is. Granted, I am a huge fan and put all the participants squarely in the athlete category. They are tough and do things that amaze me. They don't, however, take nearly the beating that dear Mr. Foley would lead you to believe. I rented the videos of many of the great matches, quote-unquote, that Mick writes about, and with the exception of the 1997 Hell in a Cell, they were all mediocre at best. Sorry, Mick. You are a great performer and the best fall guy in the business, but you book was a waste of my money. I was hoping for a book that painted a realistic picture of the behind-the-scenes of professional wrestling, While a fine narrative on Mr. Foley's mostly non-content life, it barely scratches the surface of the business and sport of professional wrestling. The world is in dire need of a book that actually brings fans into the inner circle of the sport. This is not that book. I kept reading, hoping it would get better, and it finally did when it read The End. Wait for the
Ooh.
paperback.
He needs to read Ryan Gewirtz's book.
Yes. Okay, I got
Do you
one.
guys know, were there any major wrestling autobiographies before this, or was this kind of the blueprint for what would become the wrestling autobiography?
I wanted to talk about this. Okay.
Yeah.
I have a pretty clear timeline in my head. I know Arns was out, except Arns was kayfabe. He still treated the matches like they were real. And then Dynamite's book had been out already, but obviously not publicized. And then this was the first big one.
I was hoping for a wiki page. Yeah.
I was so into this one. I don't know if Rock's came next, but Rock was the next big biography. And the Rock's was also half in kayfabe, so that sucked.
That was a bizarre read.
And then DDP's book was one of the first as well.
I can't believe when did Chris Jericho put out his first book? Was that a while?
Not till late 2000s.
Let's see.
Probably his hiatus.
I'm looking at. I cannot believe some of these wrestlers got.
I mean, Hooker might have been out, but as far as like, you know,
why can't they list this chronologically? Was this published before or after JR's cookbook?
Before.
Okay. Is this before or after Tajiri's Japanese release? Tajiri's Japanese release only.
Before.
Was it? What's the buzzsaw thing? What's it called? The Japanese it's just called Tajiri. Yeah. The Japanese buzzsaw. Okay. All right. One more. Saps Are Us, aka TV idiots who like 3-ring illusion shows.
Yes.
His was reviewed in November 99. I didn't understand this book, nor its popularity, or the spectacle known as pro wrestling. I do credit him for having his mind intact after all those evil, brutal, quote-unquote matches. But who's going to respect a guy with as many bruises and scars as this guy? If you look up to a beer-swigging boss abusing hero, then Mr. Foley's probably the author for you.
The first 10 pages literally get into like the whole like it's predetermined, but it's real. Like this guy is not sleep with a wheeler.
I know. I was because Mick Foley puts in the book. I hope people that don't like wrestling read this or have never seen wrestling read this. And when I'm reading it, I'm going, "What possibly about any of this?" That's what Larry giving it to your dad.
All these poor high school English teachers across the country that were.
Yeah.
So, you know that Brian guy that bought the audiobook and he was like 1 star. I thought it was the audiobook. He does love Lyric Supreme Wild Bird Seed. He gave it a 5-star review in 2021. He bought a 40-pound bag. The title of the review is "This bag is too dang big." I never purchased bird feed mix before. I read this was one of the best and sent it to my sister for her new birdhouse. The bag is so big and heavy, my sister couldn't barely get it in. And I think she's mad at me for sending so much now.
This guy has issues with reading very basic descriptions.
The guy
40 pounds of bird food.
I know. Wasn't he thinking this is really expensive? Maybe you thought it's so good, that's why it's so expensive. The guy that thought it was the paying for the XFL or something like that. He
was missing the first 18 pages.
Yeah, he loves the Jiggy Allman Brothers Band Mushroom Express T-shirt.
Ooh, all right.
Yes, his title is 4 stars. R.I.P. Greg. Solid shirt, and it's fairly soft. Looking forward to continue breaking this bad boy in. Which I often think when I buy a shirt. Time to break this bad boy in. All right, okay.
Now, did you guys have an original copy, or did you buy one of the paperback reprints?
Oh, you better believe I had it brand new.
I have
I
the
had it brand
hardcover
new,
somewhere.
and then at some point it got lost along the way. But I picked up the reprint about, I think, like towards the tail end of COVID. But they have updated all of the references to WWF and World Wrestling Federation to WWE and World Wrestling
Oh,
Entertainment.
interesting. I didn't
It's
even
very
catch
jarring.
that. I wonder if my brain
Yeah,
just was replacing it because I swear in my mind I was like, it's WWF in there.
yeah, no, it's very jarring because just the way some of the sentences work. But yeah, thought that was funny.
Wow. Yeah.
Do you see here that it says to protect the innocent, some names and identifying features of individuals in this book have changed?
Okay. I remember an Observer interview with Foley about this.
Okay.
Because I know the thing Dave brought up, and Dave was like really upset with him about it. Maybe it's a journalistic integrity thing. When he's talking later in his book, or maybe it's his second book,
Yeah.
how he tried to have a ghostwriter and he didn't like her, and he changes her name because he didn't want to slam her.
Oh. Okay.
That's the only.
I was, because I was like, was that in Brett's book? And it's not. So I was like, yeah, he slandered someone at some point. We have the book dedicated to the memory of Owen Hart and Brian Hildebrand. Do you remember who Brett dedicated his book to? That he wrote well after. Had time to really think about who would you want to. He didn't dedicate it to Owen. He didn't dedicated it to Helen. Yes. All right. What do you guys think about the foreword by good old JR?
I didn't spend much time with it. I mean, there's not much there, but
It was short and sweet.
Yeah, you get your first typo, sacrific. But he says Mick is paying the retail price for success, and then he lists the injuries. I've never come across that. Paid the retail price. I guess that's the high price. The retail price. It's not on sale.
You're paying the market.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. What is the? Yeah.
But you're right. I mean, JR in the second paragraph's talking about the fucking injuries.
Yeah.
So that's probably as far as Mr.
Yeah.
Fedor got.
Yeah, Mick Foley has paid a hell of a price, and I wrote retail, and a childhood. Okay, Jared goes, a childhood cooked in normalcy but spiced with Mick's own unique seasonings. I was like, JR, you little devil,
That's why his
Sugar
blood
on
sugars.
Yep.
Yeah.
smacking his lips, thinking about something or other. And he wrote, Jim Ross, September 1999. So then Mick jumps in with the introduction. He is in his house in the Florida Panhandle, and his wife is kind of taken aback. And her first question is if he'd done drugs.
Which is interesting.
Yeah.
So
If
that's not an accusation. I feel like you just throw out.
I know.
in
I
the
kind of
middle-
felt like if you ask that, it's probably because you have a history of doing drugs and being all, or for if you're tired at least. Maybe he does a little snoot ski. Just for a little pick me up every now and then. And he writes something that I don't think Bret Hart would ever write. Hey, if this book stinks, or Sean Oliver, I want it to stink because of me. At least I want you as the reader to have comfort knowing that if the words stink, they are my own words, and if the stories stink, they're my stories as well. All right, we have full reign. We can go as hard as we want to.
Yeah.
He wrote it on 760 pages of notebook paper in the year 1999. He wants you to know that he does not take the name Hardcore Legend seriously. And then he talks about Al Snow. And this is like my big takeaway from this whole book is that he loved burying Al Snow. Which he says had to be stopped a few months ago when feelings started getting hurt. I don't remember that. Al Snow started getting annoyed.
I feel like it's a very one-sided relationship where like Al just doesn't think it's funny and Mick is just constantly antagonist.
gleeful.
But I'm sure as we go through, we'll
Because he changes it to test in the second book.
Oh, does he?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's dark.
I see. Al Snow does seem like, if we get a Mick Foley interview, the first thing I'm asking him is, for the last thing, should we read Al Snow's book? What's your review? Have you even read it?
Exactly.
But he says one of the few simple joys in his life is causing Al Snow pain and embarrassment, which after seeing that reality show, I agree that man should feel pain and embarrassment. Ric Flair, he starts that. This is kind of the introduction, is him going, here's some people that might read this and go, hey. He just didn't think much of him as a boss. Didn't think he was very good. And he wrote all this in the trailer in Los Angeles on the set of the USA television series G versus E. Do you don't remember that show at all?
I do. I remember all the shows. They were usually before Heat.
What was G
after
versus
Pacific
E?
Blue, La Femme Nikita.
Pacific Blue is a big one.
G versus E. I don't remember this one. Supernatural comedy, drama television series. I have no recollection of this show. What was the plot?
I never saw it.
I don't know. I don't know. The core battle two types of foes: Faustians and Morlocks. Okay. Where did JR write his foreword? Wasn't in a trailer. Just probably in his office, I imagine. Just really snapped that out.
On a typewriter?
Maybe. This is the pleasure of getting the paper back. I did see a review that was like, the pages are falling out. That's an accurate review.
Oh, no.
It's a thick book because they're trying to shove it in this. This thing is like little, and they're trying to pack all these pages in here. So he begins and he sets it up, movie style.
Yeah.
We're in March 17th, 1994, Munich, Germany, and I did have PTSD from Brett.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, he was away. The Germany thing, I just immediately hard-bodied Fraulein's Brett. So over.
Yeah.
And so, but it's Vader versus Cactus Jack. He does have a little bit of the style which we've found a bit, where somebody will start telling a story and then they'll get run off on another tangent and then go back and go, anyways.
A little bit.
He thinks he should have been promoting instead of the headliners because he can speak German. Come on, Mick.
I know. That was the first one I picked up too.
Okay.
But I did appreciate his German words he threw in, because I like German words. It's a thing.
You like that's music to your ears.
Yeah.
Let's see. I liked one of his little burns here on Flair. Oh, not being familiar with the talent he was in charge of meant that in my book, and hey, this is my book, he was every bit as bad on the booking side of things as he was great on the wrestling side of it. He just kind of, I think I just was laughing that Ric Flair was made Booker at this time, or at least under a mixed idea of it. And Rick's just going,
then.
Yeah, Rick's just going, there's nobody else in the room, it was just him?
At this time, yeah.
Okay. Rick's going around, going up to everyone, going, never seen anything, don't know who you are. What can you do for me?
Yeah.
He calls out Flair's trademark voice, a strange combination of lisping and perfect enunciation.
Accurate.
So he saw the Vader and Foley match, but the rematch didn't raise ratings at all, he says to him.
Didn't raise the key demo.
Yeah. Yes, Mick, I wrote, Cactus starts schooling Flair in this book, and ratings he goes into it. Okay, so if my fifth, that's called a quarter hour, and he starts breaking it down. Like, why is that? How am I responsible for the whole show? And some of the newer guys used to actually leave the arena if they saw their name on the board opposite Vader.
I remember reading that little anecdote and really sticking with me. Like, fuck, I wouldn't want to fight him either.
I guess if he's really gonna be stiff with you, you're just like, that's annoying. Which is, it's even made worse because he's like I want to say a fake tough guy, but Paul Orndorff sent him packing wearing a pair of sandals, flip flops.
Orndorff was wearing the flip flops.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay. I thought you meant Vader was walking away in flip flops, which is a great sight too.
No, but there's no way footing with flip flops. But he does. Mick Foley says he saw Vader cry when he paralyzed a young kid named Joe Thurman. He goes, Joe recovered the feeling below his waist a few hours later. But Mick enjoyed his battles with Vader. And I was thinking about this the other day. I forget what wrestler I was thinking about. Really lamely, I was thinking about wrestling, just sitting around. It was about how, I think it was the Eddie Kingston, Bryan Danielson thing. There are guys that get in the ring and they like to, because Danielson's suffering from an orbital bone injury. There's guys that are like, yeah, hit me. And they like to go in there and chop each other around, And I started thinking back about Brett going, don't chop me. Please don't chop me. And, the Gunther Miz stuff that's happening right now. And
but the audience members slap their legs when they see that stuff. How Brett feels.
Yeah. But mixed in that class of wrestlers, there's wrestlers that like to get in there and, get their elbows driven into their head, and they like to get the bruising around the eyes and stuff like that.
Wasn't it? I think there's like a apocryphal tale, I don't know if that's the right word, that Greg Valentine would get hard if you started hitting hard. I swear to God, I've heard people say that before.
The Hammer?
Valentine tape. Yeah.
Two-tone Greg Valentine? The Hammer?
Two-toner Hammer, yeah.
No, not him. God. Get hard. That's just inappropriate. That's inappropriate. I'm not wrestling with him. I'm thinking about Roddy Piper for some reason when he gets that far away look in his eye when he gets asked about Pat Patterson in that shoot interview. Maybe he was thinking about Greg the Hammer. Let's see. You didn't pay $7.99 to have your intelligence insulted. $7.99.
I wonder.
I'm going to do the inflation math because I think that's a thing you have to do on every podcast.
I think that was cheap. But I think he changed that for the paperback. I swear that was an accurate number, and it was still like $15 back in the day.
Because I remember I got the hardcover too, and I remember thinking okay, I'm spending not serious money to me at that point.
Yeah.
On a book where it felt like this is an investment. It wasn't just you buying an issue of the Wrestler Insider or whatever from the magazine rack.
Oh man,
what are you looking for?
He's doing the Gus is doing the inflation math because he said he must have listened to the Hustler because boy, if you want inflation math in that one, it's brimming with it. It's brimming with it. Did you know that it's 10%? Am I doing that right now? Was it 10%? Did you know in 1961 it was 10% cheaper? Yeah. Am I even saying that right?
It was 90% cheaper.
That's
10 times what it was in 61.
Boy, I am so bad with this math stuff. I'm the guy looking at the test and going, that sounds right.
1476.
Okay.
Yeah, 14. Yeah,
so that would have been like 4 hours at my grocery store job.
Mm.
I think you are right though, Larry. It probably was closer to 20 or something.
Yeah.
Back then.
So then he gets back. He snaps out of it. And he's back there with Vader, and he explains that the ropes had they were elevator cables. That's what WCW used, and Two Cold Scorpio, a brilliant high flyer (parentheses aerial wrestler),
Thanks,
uh,
Mike.
had told the German roadies that the ropes were loose, and so they went out and tightened them to their maximum snap, I suppose. And so then he puts his head in there, Mick Foley, and
That's really interesting because just today, Maven does his
yeah.
YouTube videos now, and he went over that spot in his videos.
Oh, really?
And even in the WWE ropes, they would loosen them first if someone was going to do that spot, which I
The
thought was
hangman.
surprising. Yeah.
Why doesn't the Hangman do the Hangman? He should. Has he done it? I feel like now I'm not thinking about it. I was like, maybe he has.
Well,
But
I mean,
maybe
do you want him to take it?
Yeah. Or no,
Oh,
he should
okay.
give it, I guess. He's
Yeah.
the Hangman. But then what's he
kind of-
doing? Just like trying to. Well, I guess he hung Moxley with a chain in their Texas Death match. And then he got hung by Swerve.
How do you guys feel about guys having signature spots like that, where it's, you get what I'm saying? Like,
That's why I brought it
they're
up.
getting tossed off the top rope. Mick always doing the hangman spot. Some other guys have similar
Billy
kind
Kidman.
of thing.
That's the biggest one.
Yes.
The power bomb.
Oh,
Yeah, kind of silly.
You'd
I
think.
mean,
I guess I like it in that eventually they do it. They've at some points the good ones do like a little twist, so your expectations are thwarted, and then it's like, oh, and if they're good about it announcing, they'll talk about it and go, they scouted that or da 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 da. If I was Mick and I kept getting my head caught in the ropes, I'd be like, damn, I gotta like stop going through the middle like that. I gotta. So he's panicking, and in the match, Gus sent the link. He looks a little flaily. Yeah, he looks a little like maybe I'm projecting on because I know he's saying he's panicking, but sure enough, unlike Brett's stuff, it does pan out the video pretty much.
yeah.
What's going on. The guy picks up the deal that falls from his head.
I was surprised at how quick that all happened. I always had the impression that he was stuck in there for longer, but that's probably just
Yeah, he kind of makes it a little bit like Vader's over there yelling, but he pretty much gets in. He starts
the ref
probably
was right on top of it,
he
so-
starts hollering, and then they're out. Get him out of there.
Who was the ref? Was it Nick Patrick?
No, he's mentioned that they had a referee, and I guess
German
he was
guy?
out sick or something, and then they brought in I think it was a Frenchman, if I recall correctly.
That's right. Yeah, because he's pretty fucking quick, too, just picking up that ear.
He says a referee from France had been flown in.
Ah, that's right.
He spoke no English. He handed the ear to Gary Michael Capetta. Capetta takes it back to Flair. Says, what do we do? Flair says, put it on ice.
Yeah, good call.
Good on Rick. I think that's a good loss. You should, dial it back a little
I'm
bit.
trying to
Nick.
picture where was Rick standing during all this. Is he like right behind the curtain? Is he sitting? He's not doing a monitor with a headset or anything like that. He's not like got times right. He's not doing that. No way.
I mean, it's essentially a house show, right? So,
Yeah, he's probably just milling around in the back.
I imagine he's got the program rolled up in his hand, and he just keeps looking at it, going over match listings, pacing.
Yeah, he's got notes scribbled on it. Mick, you're wrong. He asked Capetta what the ear looked like. It looked like a piece of uncooked chicken with tape on it. Okay, fair enough. So then he does go Brett mode. He starts picturing the ear incident like it's a Martin Scorsese film. It's in black and white. Cameras going. These guys are visual storytellers. It doesn't
To
stop.
be fair to Vic, he did major in, was it television production essentially? So there was, kind of a background in that sort of creativity, and kind of was a pivotal part of his story. So
And
I give him a little bit of grace there.
It's definitely in him. And Brett, meanwhile, tried when he was a kid. Camera broke. He gave up. The minute the camera breaks, he's like, "Fuck it, who cares?" And then I think didn't he go to school for it? And then they're like, "We got to take regular classes." And he was like, "Fuck this."
Yeah.
So, Yeah, I saw it is. He says anyway back in the ring, and I went, oh boy, oh no, not another one of these.
But there's a whole giant paragraph that's really stressing the wrestling being real thing.
Oh yeah,
That if Mark McGuire lost an ear, he wouldn't still walk to first base. It's like, all right.
try lacing up his boots. He and of course, yes. When I was a young man reading this, I was like, "Yeah, you fucking tell him, Mick.
Oh yeah,
Nobody
me too.
fucking gets it." I hopped into the Kraken wagon. So you like that, Larry? Should I let
Oh,
you do
no.
these, Larry? Since you're
Nah, that it's more of a in the house sort of thing.
and we you're just muttering while you got your copy of Mein Kampf under your arm, you know.
I
and-
just like to say things in the way you say German words.
Oh, okay. So like the Doctor Strange. Okay. We headed for the Kraken house or hospital. So they go to the first hospital. And there was no room, so they went to another one. And he said to the driver, "Vergessen Sie nicht biet mein or in or your plastic tissue zu bringen," something like that.
That was terrible.
Vergessen Sie nicht biet mein or in or plastic tissue zu bringen. I'm no Fritz von Erich. Please don't forget to bring my ear in the plastic bag. I remember liking that line as a kid. After the operation, one of the Krankenschwesters, or nurses.
Well,
So,
hang
yeah.
on. It's
What? Yeah.
this was I forgot about this thing. So the plastic surgeon said they couldn't put the ear back on,
Yeah.
and he thought they would. But they put that little pocket.
Yeah, they
Of
take all the
skin.
cartilage out of the ear and they
Yeah.
put it in under his, so they can maybe fashion an ear one day.
And he says he's playing with it right now as he writes. That's disgusting.
A little nub, that he fondles. So he asks the nurse, "Ich mag mein Ohr zu haben." She just looked at me as if I'd farted in church. She pinched her nose with her fingers and replied that the ear would become schmutzig, or dirty and smelly. And then he watches her put it in the trash.
Yep.
And then she looks at him and says, "Der Catch is alles Schauspiel, ja?"
I like catch.
Yeah. Isn't wrestling all fake? And I remember really liking that first story as a kid and being like, I'm in it. That's a great way to start. So 2, he's 18 in the fall of 1983. I was probably 2 months old.
Yeah.
He's thinking about his idol, Jimmy Superfly Snuka. Do you have anything? Because he just, you guys have anything? Cause,
No, not too much. Not till he really gets to, college. Do I really care?
Well, he calls him and his friends the Brothers Penis.
Listen, I won't pretend like I didn't do weird stuff like that.
I'm not judging at all. I'm just making a note that he writes a lot of little poems and songs about his buddies and penises and what have you. That's established. He does do something I did in high school, which they go to a talent show and then they like destroy a guitar and kind of half-ass play a song. And I think my buddy did the same. He asked me to come like running past the stage and tackle him, and then we had like a fake fight, and then an instrument was broken over me or the stage or something like that. So that's common, I think. It was probably me also nodding, going, yes. I don't have anything. Yes, he talks about his coach and
Lacrosse. He
lacrosse.
plays.
You kind of
Does he
start.
mention- Does he
ahead.
mention Kevin James? I mean, we all know that stupid thing, right?
Kevin
That's
James?
what he does mention a friend Kevin, and there was that whole thing with the girl.
Oh, yeah.
And I was wondering,
yeah.
is that Kevin James? Because he had a particular line where he's like, "Have you ever seen the TV Guide version?" Did
Yeah.
He goes back to it a couple times. The TV Guide sort
Yeah.
of.
He likes that line.
And if it's Kevin James, that's hilarious because that line is certainly
Yes.
kind
Yeah.
of flipped. If that's the case.
See, I didn't even put two and two together there until you said that.
You do get his first little, you get a sniff of that. He has kind of like a hang up on like, did I get to kiss that girl or not? And he does, that's the first time he uses the TV guideline. He liked some girl named Renee. She's dating a guy named Chris. I finally did get to kiss Renee Verga at Embelliosio's wedding in 1989.
Yeah.
I saw her recently and told her she was going to be in my book. I also asked if she'd seen the Chris Lenz issue of TV Guide.
Yep, there's the line.
And then, he uses it again. He likes that. He really was proud of that TV Guide cover. My goodness. Not saying you shouldn't be proud. I'm just saying there were, 3 others? Rock, Austin, and was it China?
I gotta look it up now.
Get a picture of his dad, who looks like every Long Island. You know what I'm saying? He looks like he's exactly that guy.
Yeah.
Get,
So you're up to 28?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. You're flying along even faster than I wanted. That's good.
Oh, okay.
No, please. There's nothing really happening until.
Taker was the 4th, by the way.
Oh, come on. You got to make it China at the time. Come on. Or who else? Sable? Did Sable get one? It was Rocks? Austin.
Might have been. She might have been on the outs already.
Yeah, true. So then he talks about Jack Foley, his dad.
Yeah.
And
you know what's weird about the parents is that dad's going for a doctorate and mom has a master's, but they both teach high school.
Well, Dr. Foley, no, he was a full athletic director for the district, so
Yeah. I don't know. I still think that's I don't respect it as a position.
wow.
Not for a master's degree.
Larry hates the public education system.
But isn't that crazy though?
And-
you could
I guess so.
You could have a very comfortable upper middle class life on Long Island as a
Yeah.
high school gym
That's
teacher.
true. That's true.
So Larry hates public education and people bettering themselves. Doesn't like that. Studying for a doctorate. The fuck you doing?
I don't respect that.
You stay right to you don't respect him. You throw a fast food wrapper at him.
Stay in your lane.
What'd you think about the dad's thing with newspapers? I didn't remember that, but then as I read, I was like, oh yeah, the newspaper thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of presented as quirky, but then I kind of was like, who people that check the paper a lot are murderers. People looking to see if the crimes have been reported. That's where I got it. I don't want to do like a Stu thing again, but why is he looking at all these papers and he won't let them go? Something's up.
I get it.
I kind of do too, actually. I feel like if I lived in that era, that probably would have been me.
Listen, am I going to read
True.
an eighth of all the books I own? Never.
But there's always that thing, one day you're going to retire and there's going to be time
Right.
and it'll be pleasant. And
Just going to read the news from
Shame
1972.
on you, Larry. I don't own one book that I haven't read.
Okay.
Only books that I've read. Come on now, Larry. Stop buying books you're not going to read. It is true, though. My dad even, and he's not even of that, but he's probably what, Foley's age. He, maybe a little older, but he would collect newspapers that he thought were like, this is a very important day. Not every day, but yeah, so something, an election or
my dad had all these Gulf War papers for some reason.
this is important.
General Schwarzkopf and all that bullshit.
Nobody has anything. You don't have any papers. You don't have anything that you said. I got to go out and buy a
Nah,
paper.
okay, there was a guy in rehab. He was one of my closer friends, but he was wacko. And he wanted to borrow money from me to buy newspapers when the Cavs won the championship. Because he was going to get rich off these things. And he's dead now. So that just makes it funnier to me that he actually did it. And those newspapers probably got thrown in the garbage.
And the newspaper industry was very much in decline by this point too.
Yeah, you know Zoomers. They love a good day of historic newspaper to hang on the wall.
Yeah.
That's what they like.
Do they?
I don't know. That's what this guy's plan. Well, how'd he die?
Fentanyl overdose.
Fair enough. And they found him with the papers?
No, but I'm just saying he was still transient at the time. So, like,
Oh. Well, those papers were
they're gone,
filthy,
of
but yeah.
course.
Well, that was a good idea. You should have sold some of that fentanyl. That would have been the fix for money. Don't take it, sell it. Did you catch Stamping Grounds? It's Stomping Grounds, right? On page 34.
I didn't catch that. I've never heard Stamping Grounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always the old stomping ground.
He talks about his dad taking him to ball games, and I did like when he said his dad said, "Welcome to New York City, the fun capital of the world," when he's getting slowly pissed off.
And there's nothing but assholes here, and then wondering if we're included in that statement. That was fun.
I loved all that stuff. I love anybody slowly coming to a boil as they drive. I enjoy living it, and I enjoy seeing it. It says that wrestlers say the F word a lot. I shot him in the fucking ropes, and I caught him with the big fucking elbow, and then I made him a big fucking comeback.
I mean, Patterson used to do that.
Yeah.
Because he does it in Wrestling with Shadows.
Yeah. I wonder who he specifically was thinking about when he wrote that. Austin came to mind for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Let's see. So then he goes, anytime he goes through all the stuff that even though his dad was so busy, he still really made an effort. And he says, anytime I think I had a rough childhood, please somebody slap me. And I wrote Brett's version is Stu did slap him, and then his brother's pissed in his mouth. And then Brett also wrote,
he had a good childhood.
Brett also wrote, what a great childhood. Poor guy.
I mean, this is
brother, and just what does he think of Mick and his choices? And
I know. I was thinking. I wonder what the brother did for a living, or does.
Isn't his brother's name Jack? Does he mention that? That his brother John.
Yeah.
I don't know. He doesn't really talk about John too much.
No, he doesn't.
He does later on. I know he talks about going to his wedding, but then nothing.
Is he the oldest, or is John the oldest?
I believe the brother is older. Yeah, because you mentioned something about him being in college, I think, at some point.
Oh, yeah, they go to visit him. Yeah, he's already in college, yeah. The only thing I have is that he has a friend, he says, a friend Scott, who he calls Nam. And then I went, oh, it's a typo. But no, it keeps going. Named after the heavy drinking Mr. Peterson on Cheers. And I'm like, is it a joke that it's Nam? Because it's supposed to be Norm.
Okay, I was stroking out when I read that. I'm like, I don't think that's right, but it was one of those things, too, where it's like, I'm not going to take the 30 seconds out of my day to validate incorrect.
Is he trying to write the accent?
Like Nam.
Yeah.
No.
Maybe. But no one on Cheers really had a Boston accent, so that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Nam. Yeah, it's that thing. It could be like a friend thing where it was Norm and then they just said Nam and then.
Yeah. But then to include the paragraph saying, whatever.
So he talked about the one time that his dad spanked him. Like the handprints I leave on Al Snow's ass now. Okay.
I mean, I think he talks about the fact that the gayer the insults get, the funnier they are.
Oh, I'm okay. I won't be. Yeah, I would not. If when that passage comes along, I'll just nod along. He does. Yeah. There's always that thing where I go, if this was written now, would Mick include any of this? I think he would, but he'd put like a caveat that like at this time we thought butt stuff was very funny.
I mean, sodomy plays a pivotal part in the
Yes.
film his buddies put together.
So he in a lot of this. Okay, so he's right now telling this part about hitchhiking to go see Snuka and Morocco in a cage match in MSG. And
wait, was he in college already when that he was?
Yes. I think
Because
he just
all I wrote
started.
about, right? So that's like north of Binghamton, south of Syracuse. So yeah, that's like 5 hours to get to the city.
Mhm.
He's in college. Why is he hiding from his parents?
Because
It required him to miss a day of school, I believe.
yes, and he
Dr. Foley is a very, education above all else.
yes, and they were dropping him off to go back to school, and if they saw him
then they
not get on the bus or whatever,
Yeah,
they would have been.
I don't.
Yeah, no, it seems like a very simple conversation would have saved a lot of.
Don't drive me back. I want to go to the fucking show. I'm missing a day of school. That I don't know.
I mean, his dad was supportive of wrestling too. I mean, he was playing his wrestling RPG game with the thing. I mean,
I think he thinks his dad would have been very upset, but it turns out his dad was fine with it.
I bet this has been romanticized like 20%. Right?
Yeah,
embellished
probably.
20%.
He definitely, I'm sure, as he's remembered it with his dad and stuff, it's grown and it's not quite the experience.
It's more.
So he's watching the match, the Snuka Morocco cage match. Suddenly, I saw Snuka's unmistakable display of rage inside the ring. I know somebody else saw that unmistakable. Allegedly, his girlfriend. When it came to displays of rage, no one was more animated than Snuka. I'll tell you what. It's accurate. I did like this. So he's going to see the famed Superfly Leap, he calls it. This was back in 1983, before the days of moonsaults, saltos, planchas, and a lot of other foreign words that faceless Mexicans performed a little or no response. Wow.
That line would not have made it today.
Foley taking down Lucha Libre.
Well, he gets into it later in the book, though. I think it's residual feelings from Mil Mascaras.
I see. I feel like Dave would have highlighted all this and been like, I guess he doesn't watch CMML on Friday nights. Okay. Maybe I should send him a tape. Little to no response. Okay. So he tells his dad that he went to the match, and that match, of course, is seared in his brain. And sure enough,
No, Dad knew. Remember?
Yeah, he saw him.
They watched it and they saw him. Yeah.
And he goes, how was the match? And he thinks about lying, and then he goes,
Listen, TV's 1986 or 84. You think his dad could fucking make him out on a TV in 1984?
They say he saw his red flannel.
How often is that match rerunning? So he would have had to. How often were those Garden cards even rebroadcast? So, yeah, I think.
If his dad is so hardcore that he's tracking down the match, then why did he think that his dad was going to be upset?
Right.
The red flannel. Yeah, you know what? You pick them up so well that when they played it later on WWF television, they had to like put a highlighter on. Like, hey, this is him right here. Oh man, what do you think about that though? I've always thought that's odd. Is it odd though? Super fans being like, they go, oh look, you can see Edge and Christian in WrestleMania 6. They're right there. Yeah. I guess I'd think, oh, is it odd? But then if you're a super fan, you're going to try and get into the...
With others, you know what I mean? I guess it's different with other sports, but it's never like, oh, here's,
I know, they never catch... The kid that you saw screaming 20 years ago, that's now him on the field.
Yeah, right.
They don't have any footage of Sasha because she's always talking about I was in the nosebleeds in Boston. They don't have footage of me. Nobody's putting a camera up there. It's December 83. He's at Tootie and Muldoon's. He's got a fake ID. He purchased it in New York City when he went to the snooker match, which I'm like, that. He acts like he barely got there in time, and
he's got all this time to,
Yeah, he ran out and was like, well, I gotta go get a fake ID while I'm here. Which then it's like, you gotta, I mean, what's he doing then? Where's that story? Is he walking around town just going fake ID?
Taken.
Did he know a guy? Was he told about a guy?
New York City in the early 80s, I feel like.
Is he just
easy
walking
to get
around?
that
Yeah.
shit. Yeah.
But then I want to know that, like, some guy's going, hey, I know what you want. He's going, got fake ID here.
Probably just go to Times Square and know exactly where to fucking go. It was still a shithole back then.
Yeah. So he sees Kathy. Man, I liked Kathy, he says. And this is where I think I kind of I wrote, oh no, because I think this is where Mick starts really getting a little jostled. A hot chick walked up to me and started talking to me while breathing dangerously close to my ear, which guaranteed instant wood.
God.
Yeah. This hot-blooded woodmaker leaned in a little closer and informed me, I've been looking at you since you were a freshman. And then Mick says, but I'm a freshman now. She walks off. Then there was a girl named Amy. Amy was beautiful and had a figure that was impossible for me to take my eyes off of. Usually I don't like people when they're smoking, but she had a look about her when she took a drag of her cigarette that put a twinkle in my eye and a bulge in my trousers. Mick's got a boner again.
Yes.
Just sitting on a plane, scribbling in his notebook.
He's like, I gotta make sure I note whenever I've had a boner. That rare combination of sexy voice, gorgeous face, swinging sweater puppets, and a somewhat morally casual attitude had my heart racing when we found ourselves somehow alone in Sue Coots's room. And then they go back and forth. Yeah, right? Yeah, I could smell what this chick was cooking. He gives her a bad kiss, and it ends. Kathy was different, though. I didn't judge her by the stretching in my slacks. But he likes Kathy. He likes talking to her. She's an Irish beauty with a glowing smile. And he asks her if she can kiss him, and they have a romantic kiss. And even now, that kiss rates up in the top 10 of romantic moments. I'm like, Mick, you got a wife? You're going to put that in there? What are you doing?
Model. And that's kind of what I mentioned, so he was basically 33, 34 when he wrote this. By that point in my life, I would not have any recollection of, kisses I had from that point in my life.
At 33, yeah. He's stewing on it. I think this book would provide a little bit of opportunity to go, let's get out the scorecard here. I make a lot of money. Here we go.
You think he had the Rolodex out and was making some calls, Just thinking about you, writing my book, and
I mean, he already said that, right? He saw that girl from high school and was like, "I'm putting you in the book."
Yeah, and then he has another one where he talks about the gal he worked on the documentary with. He goes, "I'm going to go see your family here soon." Is he Mick a guy that drops in on people, old friends,
unannounced?
Yeah,
probably just for the free place to stay.
That's true. That's true. Well, yeah, he's kind of like, hey, let's have dinner, and then he goes, I'm tired. Man, if I make up a room or something, or
I mean, he's one of those guys who will stay with fans.
Oh, Lordy Almighty!
To save money.
That's so concerning. That's so concerning to me.
I don't think I would be comfortable staying with most adults at this point in my life, let alone that sort of relationship. But
listen, if you can be that insanely cheap and saving your money, I guess it's noble. No,
I don't know. I would like to talk to his kids and see what they think.
It's noble, I suppose.
They all seem pretty lightly employed. They're reaping the benefits.
I feel like I always think back to when was one of the it was Seth Rollins or John Moxley wrote. They were living very cheap. I always go back. They were doing the same thing, going, we've read the Mick Foley, but we've read all this. We know we got to be cheap. And at some point, somebody snapped and was like, "I'm a world champion. This is not going to break the bank if I stay in a nice hotel."
Now, see, Foley is good. The second book starts with him winning the title, and he is sharing a room with the Blue Meanie.
Sad. This is why Ric Flair's looking at Mick and going, "Not a star. Act like it." So the gal, he kisses the gal, Kathy, and she says, "Good night, Frank." And he is very hurt by this. And he goes to he takes pictures and then like writes little captions on the pictures.
I thought through this. I'm like, my initial reaction was, kind of cringy and then uncomfortable at first. But then I'm like, picture myself at that age, friends with bands, things like that. Just how many bad songs were written, under certain circumstances. And,
Yeah.
part of it's that age. But, would that be something, I would include in my book? Or would I? But... it tells the story, I guess, of how it was formative to his sort of...
I think it was pretty safe. I feel like now, the vibe I get when people are rejected, it doesn't go very well. I feel like this is a creative outlet so that it didn't go poorly. And he really turned this into like anger and been like this. I mean, Frank. So is it I guess it might be a little passive aggressive. He's like, I think he brings it up to her again.
Right, and she's like, "Yeah, that's wonderful."
Yeah. He talks about his red flannel, which I have to admit right here, during high school, because of Mick Foley, you better believe I had a red flannel that I wore almost every goddamn day.
Okay, before that, this seems weird to me. So because he's upset, he wants to, and this is like a recurring thing that he wants to do, where he fills the mattress with baby powder and then jumps onto it during a Blackfoot song. I mean, that is...
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up.
You don't have thoughts about this? Like,
yes.
It's so recurring that they know it's one of those
ritual,
days.
Yeah.
I have a thing. Maybe my friend circle just wasn't like that. He has a thing where he says the guy comes in and he just goes 3, and then he gives him Pink Floyd's.
That too.
And I'm going, I've never had that. I've had good friends, but I've never shown up their house and said one word, and they're like, I know exactly what he wants right now. They seem so close, I guess. But then, yes, it has this whole thing where they're like, they know what's up. Play the song, and he's going to do the elbow drop on the teddy bear. I don't know. I've never even heard the song he's talking about.
No.
And if I have, I don't know the name. So he's wearing the flannel. He loves it. He wears it. I mean, he wore it for years and years, the same one, until it couldn't fit him anymore. He talks about in his dorm room, Candy Loving, the 25th anniversary Playboy Playmate, is hanging up there. So it's established. Yeah, we looked her up. Fair enough, Mick.
I don't know. There were some rooms in rehab. There were certain guys who would post just naked pictures by their bed, and I never really got it. For being in high school or college, I guess it's edgy.
I mean, I was gonna weigh in. I was gonna say what was in my my brother's room.
The worst I got was the Pink Floyd Butts poster.
Yeah, my brother had nothing too crazy. I unfortunately had things like a drawing of John Travolta and Nicolas Cage because I love the movie Face Off, or like, I think of Paul Newman somewhere, something or other about Paul Newman.
Frank Sinatra mugshot.
I think I had a Jackass post or something about Jackass, which I still stand by. Very good stuff. Sorry.
I don't have an opinion.
You don't love the movies?
They're
You're
fine.
not a fan? Oh
They're
my
fine.
god. I won't go. No, not here. Not now.
Not here.
Not the Buster Keaton rant.
So he's
I-
gonna make a movie about this heartbreak, right? Is
Yeah.
there-
I at least got Kathy to semi-admit a quote-unquote kind of attraction a year later. That's a weird thing to write. I got her to admit that she kind of was attracted to me. I guess he was going, so you thought I was this Frank guy, but now me as Mick, do you like me? She's like, not now, you're cornering me.
Right.
And then she asked if there was a special Kevin cover of TV Guide hanging on her wall.
Right, and that's like, if that's Kevin James, that's fucking hilarious.
He does put Kevin in quotes.
I don't know what else he'd be talking about.
Then he shows all the pictures. He does the whole thing. He's very proud of it. He talks about his friend Chris P. As Danny speculated on what I was doing. Oh, he's cleaning house. The dude's cleaning house. My skinny Jewish buddy yelled. All right, Mick. His friend Zucker goes, look at Foley. He must be 20, 30 feet in the air. They're filming, the gimmick there. And it says, would this work if I hired Zuck to announce my sex life? Look at that penis on Foley. It must be 13, 15 inches in length and just as big in diameter. This is not going into the book written now. There's no way he's like, what if I write about how my friends, and he's saying my penis. What would that be funny? My penis is huge.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
I think in 1999, people just kind of went, oh, okay. I think now in 2023, if he writes, hey, what if my friend talked about my penis and it was fucking huge? People be like, Mick,
Yeah, let's get in the comment bubble Microsoft Word with 3 question marks.
yeah, Mick, what are you doing? It might be his age, too. But you don't want to be like, I don't want to hear about this, Mick.
Well, it's gonna get worse before it gets better here.
Yeah, I did
Oh,
kiss.
yes.
I did kiss a pretty senior who went on to be my first love, but found out later that she was prone to blackouts and didn't remember it. I was real close to receiving oral sex once when my back went out on me. I remember. Oh my! What the hell? That's what he wrote. What the hell?
I was out there bumping on the frozen turf in the park for hours.
And this definitely was one of those where I'm sure when I was reading it as a kid, I was going, hell yeah, this guy's he's being real.
I can't wait to get to college.
All his flubs and duds. And then now I'm reading and going, why did you have to write, I was real close to receiving oral sex once when my back went out on me. So he sees Kathy. Believe it or not, Kevin's on her arm. I was like, Mick, get over it. Married with children. I was the guy she beamed at, even if it was a scared beam. Because at this point now she's nervous. Because he's telling her about like some song he wrote about Kevin or something like that.
Okay.
It's getting, as Gus said, kind of cringy for Mick. Let's see. He kind of what happens here next? Call himself a masturbator. It's this whole thing. He's talking about the the movie they're making. He's got a sparkling mask that looked like Julie Newmar's Catwoman disguise in the Batman series, and then Mick goes off on a tangent on that one. I wonder if Julie watches wrestling because, man, I'd like to. Never mind. And Mick, I don't like it when people do this, so they go, never mind, and then they tell you exactly what they were going, what awful thing was in there. I don't know if we need to get into my fixation on 70s sitcom stars. We're going on. And my theory that I might be able to nail some of them now that they're 60-ish and I'm on TV. I've actually got permission from my wife to nail Barbara Eden if I ever get the chance.
God.
And then he goes right back into it.
It's
He was
fine.
fighting with himself in that passage. He's like, "Do I need to write? Do I need to write this?" Well,
I
I'm
think we
booked.
just kind of floated out there to Barbara Eden's people too.
Yeah. Uh, he almost seems like all these talk when he's talking about like being horny and he's got a boner and all this. It's all very like childlike and kind of like giggly. Whereas I got to bring him up again. Brett was very like, so there I was, and there she was.
Yeah.
Her scent still on my fingers. What was I doing?
And she
What am I doing?
washed me with her pussy.
Yeah, yeah. The moon crested over the Israeli mountain. It's like, all right, Brett. And then Mick's like, I have a boner. Gee.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't have anything about the movie stuff other than
No,
like,
yeah, it's just shit. It's been, we all know about the movie.
but then yes, I did forget and then remembered that a big part of the movie is the opponent, Big Dick. His finishing move is the sodomizer. And in a flash, he bent dude over, pulled down his shorts, and appeared to violate the former champ with one quick thrust. Oh, it's the sodomize. Dude Love has been sodomized, said the Grand Lizard.
It's all too inside. I'm sure this is hilarious to his friends.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I'm
you've
sure,
got,
he
yeah,
remembers
probably,
it
like,
fondly.
10 plus years of back context and
One of the scenes is the woman, the guy telling the story of Dude Love, and she says to him, from what you've told me, you and Mick Foley weren't even good friends, and when Dude Love was around, I thought you were in Ethiopia teaching women how to give blowjobs.
it was pretty funny. I chuckled a little.
I mean, I was like, I'm sure he talks about it. I'm sure this movie went around with his friends and they all loved it. For years and years, they remembered it fondly. He claims, I've seen people, no joke here, fight back tears as they watch it. From laughing, I guess, not from
Maybe
sadness.
from
or like
Danny
passage of
Zucker.
time. Somebody offered him $2,000 to have the tape.
Or someone was trying to buy it on
He gets introduced to Tommy D through his dad. Tommy D's a promoter.
Yeah. They're running a thing at the high school.
Mm-hmm. And he meets Dominic DeNucci. Thoughts on Dominic DeNucci? Anybody have like any hardcore thoughts on Dominic DeNucci?
No, he's
just known as Mick's trainer at this point, right? Pretty much.
It was a tag champ with Bruno.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Bruno's little number 2 paisan.
Wouldn't his number 2 paisan be his son, David?
No. David's gonna take some very quickly in this book.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so real quick, I mean, the thing with the promoter, right, was that, Mick, hey, you can come and, drive the trucks, help me set up the rings for the show, and if there's enough time, beforehand, we'll throw you out there and get some working with DeNucci.
Yes, and that didn't happen very often. And it seemed like kind of a miserable thing that he kind of describes getting the ring. He said he hates Brooklyn, by the way. He throws that in there, by the way. I hate Brooklyn. Gets the ring, drags it down, sets it up, takes it down, drags it back, puts it in the building, da-da-da. And he gets 4 sessions in with DeNucci. And eventually DeNucci's like, hey, you want to actually do this? You got to come to, is it Pittsburgh, right? Or Philadelphia?
Pittsburgh.
And
before that, though, he shows the Dude Love tape to the wrestling show.
Yes, I think it's very important, actually, where the screens the tape. So the promoter asks him, hey, do you got some wrestling tapes that you can bring over? I think some of the guys want to watch some tapes, which is just kind of funny to me in general. These guys just kind of,
what are we gonna watch? What we're
I watched wrestling beforehand. And so he goes home, gets his tapes, but also grabs the Dude Love movie. And then, according to him, a crowd builds up while they're watching it of about 100 or so athletes from the school, which I'm calling bullshit on.
Some kid's like, "Hey, didn't you make a movie?" And he's like, "Yes, I did, and it's right here."
Right, and the crowd all clapped and roared.
Love it. Yes.
And then the promoter, Mick was going on about how the promoter must have saw something in him.
Yes, he's smiling watching it.
Star potential, which
he's probably thinking, "Did I just see his fucking kid get sodomized? Did they really fucking do that?"
Hey, he says he fast forwarded to the wrestling scene.
Yes,
that's wrestling. That's a wrestling move.
I guess so.
Do you think that's the question you asked me? Did you show all those kids you being sodomized?
Write it down. So when Barry Bloom gets our email.
I know. You were like, you contacted me. I was like, am I contacting Barry Bloom?
Do it. What's the worst that's going to happen?
Nothing. Yeah, he's going to look at my email and be like, why does Mick put this on the website? Now, French.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say this Francois Petit. Is he the he's the ponytail guy, right?
He's a fucking quack, yeah.
Yeah.
Remember there was, in the Owen Hart death, there was some, weird thing where, he was the doctor on call, even though he's a chiropractor. And, telling people not to touch the body, something weird like that. Something that was over his pay grade.
He was always, to me, is he really the guy that's in the Mortal Kombat movies? No way. Are we serious right now? Did people know this and I didn't know this? I was obsessed with this guy as a kid because I didn't know who he looked. Because you always saw the ponytail guy slide into the ring, right? For the injuries. And I was always just like, who is this guy? And then somebody was like, he's like the WWE doctor.
That is not the same man.
People think it is. The
No,
chiropractor was
actually,
ringside. It was Sub-Zero in Mortal Kombat.
Okay.
Wow.
I guess. I can't believe this. I walked out of Mortal Kombat, the movie. That's wild to me. He's on a magazine. Taekwondo. My world is... This guy was so odd looking to me as a child. I was always so concerned when he would come in. Not because I was worried about it's just because of him and his ponytail and
his general presence.
It just didn't make sense. I was like, that guy's a doctor?
No.
I mean, chiropractor.
Because you'd ask around and people were like, that's the WWE doctor. That's why he's on there for the injury. And then you learn and you're like, he's not a doctor.
He cracks
That's
backs.
Sub-Zero.
But some of these guys like Mick, a master in shiatsu massage who has performed over 50,000, swears that my body's the strangest he's ever worked on. Meek, your spine is like that of a crocodile. It's unbelievable, Meek.
What is that accent?
It's French, man.
Okay.
You know I'm a master impressionist. So he's doing his bumps. He's doing his driving. He's paying his dues. You got anything, you guys?
Well, DiNucci, finally says, just come to fucking Pittsburgh. He's worried about money. DiNucci says, just come and we'll figure it out. And only charges him $25, even though Foley offered 50. Shane Douglas is in the class.
Yep.
There's four
and
guys.
He even calls out the other guys, and he's like, "Yeah, that guy was small and plain." Well, all right, best of luck to him. The
other guy got mixed up with David Sammartino, whose own odd business choices grounded his promising career.
Yep. What? What were the odd business? I've never deep dived on.
Punched a fan, and then he just started no-showing because he was on drugs.
That is a business choice. Let's see, where did he go? I have something else here, I
I mean,
think.
it's crazy drive.
Oh, the Kurt Kaufman. I do like this character, this fellow. The Kurt Kaufman guy is a guy that's also starting out, but he soon starts walking like Danucci,
Weight belt.
smoking stogies like Danucci, wearing a weight belt. He starts calling everyone kid. I'll tell you, kid, Kurt once confided in me, those West Virginia fans may be tough, but they're some of the best people I've ever worked in front of. I think he'd had 3 matches at the time.
Yeah.
I like the Kurt guy. So he's going to Dominic's.
Well, and this is really, where his frugality starts as well, too. I mean, he was initially staying in hotels Friday and Saturday after making the 400-mile trip, but then cuts down to sleeping in the car one night
Yeah,
out of the 2.
he does. He starts eating peanut butter at all time. Peanut butter and bread. That's my dad used to talk about when he was coming up. He would eat ketchup sandwiches and shit like that. You know,
No, just eat the bread, man.
you gotta have flavor. So, I mean, that's just something I'm assuming no one here has been like, you know what, I gotta save money. I'm just gonna eat bread for the rest of the month and ketchup.
I mean, I've been close, but I, at least have enough.
Maybe
I've had
ramen
like,
or rice
cheese
back in the
and-
day. You're eating a lot of ramen. I think I used to eat a lot of ramen, and I saw some kid said his leg like swelled up from the sodium, and I went, I can't be leaning on ramen so much. I gotta throw some chicken in or something.
I don't know.
He says when he does the sunset flip for the first time, he was so happy. It was like the first time I was able to climb the rope in gym class, except without the half Woody. Why is Mick just rubbing against the rope as he pulls himself?
That's also a Wayne's World joke. To be.
Oh, is
I
it?
think
Okay.
Mick's copying
Yeah.
a little.
Okay. I was like, what in the world's happening? I don't have anything until. I mean,
What do you guys think about Dom's school being ran out of a abandoned elementary school? Do you think he had
No,
the necessary permits and licenses
No.
with the city to
absolutely not.
I think. Well, then they had a key too, because then Shane and
Yes.
Shane and him get the key from the wife when he's gone. I feel like, how do you forget that when he's like, "Oh yeah, Dom's gone"? You don't at any point during that drive go, "Did he say he was going to be gone soon? Is that time?"
Well, and it happened a few times, right, where Mick makes a
Yes.
trip
I think
and
he just likes making the trip.
he's just on autopilot. It's Friday, time to get in the car and
Drive for 7 hours.
Right.
Yes. Maybe he had that thing where he was like, if I don't I'll never do that drive again. I have to do the drive.
I get romantic about this period of his life and thinking about mine.
no, like I
The college
love long
stuff.
drives. Like, absolutely, yeah.
I just feel shame as I read it. Shame that I ever was like, yeah.
So he keeps training. Basically gets booked first match in West Virginia, right?
Yes, I have a special note about this. Clarksburg Armory, right?
Do you have the card?
Mhm.
Who's on the card? Lord Zoltan, right?
Yeah.
And Hank Hudson I know too, but Lord Zoltan is the wrestler I helped in a match one time.
Oh, really?
Yes. He pulled me out of the crowd at the Garfield Heights High School gym. And- no, I'm sorry. I pulled his leg. Another wrestler was fighting him. He was crotched on the post, pulled me up out of the crowd, and we each pulled a leg and wishboned him.
There
Hell
you
yeah.
go.
So Lord Zoltan's my guy ever since then.
Did he look every bit of Lord Zoltan than he did probably in 1980? What is this,
He-
4 maybe?
You know what he is? He's Danhausen. Before Danhausen.
Oh, Danhausen before. Now I got to look him up. Is there a picture of him out there on the web?
Oh, tons. Yeah, I mean, he was working this fucking area forever.
American professional wrestler.
Look at this.
Oh
fucking
boy.
guy.
Oh
Yeah,
boy.
he's
Yep.
1,000.
Oh boy.
Oh wow, yeah, the whole getup. Semi-retired, so still active, and
So he's getting booked on our first show.
yeah,
We're bringing him out of retirement.
he does appear to be doing a Zig Heil type motion.
Uh-oh.
One of these images.
A lot
so.
of these images. What's this? I have opinions on the vaccine? No!
Oh
No.
God!
Let's see. No, he's fine so far.
Even so, Hank Hudson is the guy who gives Cactus the Truth or Consequences thing. He used to do the Cleveland All Pro shows when I used to go see him in like 2005.
Oh wow!
That's kind of depressing.
Yeah,
20 years and you haven't moved.
I did like the Hank Hudson guy. I mean, he's
He was a
got to give the
character.
guy a lot of credit. Yeah, he's like, well, yeah, what's the name? Yeah,
there's no
yeah,
cactuses in Indiana.
Yeah, he's got it on. He's on top of it. There's a little bit of the Mick with the women thing where he's like, yeah, and then I made her sleep in a car, and she was like, why? And this and the. It's like, okay, Mick.
That
what
seemed a
happened
little
in
on
that
the
car?
spectrum, right? Like, you don't know that that's going to be
yeah.
off-putting to someone.
Well, you didn't have a conversation beforehand. Like, here's what just a general. Here's my routine. Let's.
I felt like on some of these stories, I do feel like Mick's leaving out very key information as to why the women. I just like something's.
There's more. Yeah, there's more there.
Let's see. So he has his first. Oh, we want to go to his first match.
Yeah. Is
The hometown.
leapfrog.
Well, we can't
spot.
say that the Truth or Consequences New Mexico hometown fit like pants of a man with 5 penises, like a glove.
Yeah.
I chuckled. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I just was kind of like Mick. He's just like those 760 pages of notebooks. He was like, and penis reference, giggling to himself. So yes, we smacked our. So both him and Kurt are in the ring, and they.
Yeah, he thought he was going to be in a battle royale, and thought he was going to, nice, kind of get your toes wet. Gets booked into the second match with this fella. Wants to do a particular spot where, someone goes down for like a kind of
Either
leapfrog.
Leapfrog or a back body drop or something. It can be
end
either
up,
or.
yeah,
They both
knocking
go.
heads twice, and then Mick essentially blacks out.
We smacked our heads together like 2 rams, and I went, okay, end of sentence. Performing a mating ritual. Oh, okay. When he meets Brian Hildebrand at that show, who's was working as Jaime Schwartz. Okay, settle down, Brian. Settle down, Brian. He's really going for that heat. And
that's funny because that's basically Harvey Whippleman too, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, both Southern guys pretending to be Jewish.
You'd think that James E. Cornette would have thought to himself and went, you know what I could really do to rile people up? What if my name wasn't Cornette down here?
It was Cohen.
Yeah, James E. Cohen. Oh, man. He claims that Brian Hildebrand, and this might be because he kind of came up with Brian, but he says that he has the benefit of being managed by some very good people over the years, many of whom had been national stars. And I can honestly say that none of them knew or loved wrestling like Brian did. Shots fired at Percy Pringle right there.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh, yeah. Harley Race. Didn't he manage for a minute?
I'm trying to think. Did he?
No, he fought against Harley and Vader.
Okay.
Who else has he been managed?
Well, Sullivan managed him.
Yeah. Why is there a picture of?
Well, who
Doink?
was his second? Linda McMahon was his second at WrestleMania 2000.
Shots fired at Linda McMahon.
He had the foresight to know that Linda would be.
You know how stupid I was? Which it's been really established over many things. I saw that WrestleMania 2000, and I thought for sure, oh, he's coming back. I didn't even care that he was going back on his retirement thing. I was like, he's winning this fucking thing. He's winning it. It's happening. That's why. What else would you bring him back? Why would Triple H win? That's stupid.
Well, and I think that's a reasonable reaction though after reading the book, right? Like you're like, you know what? Like Mick really sells you hard on the idea that he should be,
Yeah.
the man and the guy, and
Everybody loves him.
Get the grand send off.
yeah.
And then, of course, I invited friends of mine to watch that, and that was what they did. WrestleMania 2000. It's all day. We're going to recap all the WrestleManias all day, and I invited friends, most of which did not. They were like casually interested in wrestling, and they were like, "We're doing this all day." And of course, I was like, "This is how I was watching it, like fingers tinted, like, yes." Yes, watching
Start of a new millennium.
Very serious, yes. WrestleMania 2000 is serious business.
Well, and by 2000, I mean, at least within my like sort of social circles, it was kind of getting to be uncool again. At least for.
Oh yeah, they wanted to start doing other stuff, and then I'd like shoot them. I'd shoot them a Jack Foley look.
Right.
I'm focusing. Hold on. Hardy's and Edge and Christian are about to come out. We got to see this play out. So I don't even remember what Brian Hildebrand.
Well, he's about to go do the dark match.
Yep, Vince needs some boys. And he goes, as a wrestling fan, he's like, that's exposure, but he knows all the, sometimes you go, that guy again, he knows all the jobbers to the stars. He knows them all.
The guy that the Rockers paralyzed, Charles Austin. You know about that case, right? He takes the rocker dropper, and now he's in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
They should have fucking subpoenaed Foley, because the fact that they're booking guys who have had one match
That's true.
is fucking terrible.
Yeah, Pat Patterson just shakes his head.
Yeah, and definitely I think there is some oversight on, the WWF at that time. But how do we feel about Dom putting Mick in that position?
That's not good either.
I mean, they said, hey, we need some boys, Dom. You got any? He's like, I'll just give you the people that have been here the longest.
He's only got 4.
Well,
yeah, and he's like, by default.
You know what, though? I bet Dom probably took a cut of that booking, I'm betting, and that's how he's getting back on that, $25 a week or whatever.
Yeah. He, and then they tell him, you're going to face the British Bulldogs. And so he meets the Bulldogs, and Dynamite comes up to him. And he goes, hey, Dynamite, it's nice to meet you. And you can give me a snap suplex if you want. And Dynamite says, thanks, mate. He said with a smile as he turned and winked at Davey. And I, after reading Brett's book, a chill went down my spine. I was like, oh, no!
Well, I don't know. I kind of...
This is one of the most sinister men to ever walk the planet.
And you're just giving him the
And Foley,
enthusiastic consent.
yes, Foley is in this book being, the way I was reading it now with all this context years later, he's going like, he's walking up to the serial killer and being like, can I get in your car? Hi.
See, I felt the opposite. I felt like he's being green as fuck because... Of course he's going to give him the snap suplex, whether he wants it or not.
Well, yeah, he is. But I just know that Dynamite's thinking, I can't wait to fucking paralyze this
Yeah,
kid,
that's true.
this fucking loser. And I'm going, no, Foley, no! So then he says it to Davey, too. He's like, hey, can I get elbows in? And Davey's like... Now, if this was Brett's book, Davey's going to be staring out into space and not even responding. What? But no, he just smiles and is like, yeah, sure, kid, whatever. And so, sure enough, they wrestle. Foley has the realization, I think Dynamite's trying to hurt me. Which, you're right, he was.
He dislocates his jaw.
Yep. He fucks him up.
Yeah.
And he goes back there, and people... Greg Valentine with half a boner walks up to him and goes, "You all right, brother?" Everyone's kind of like looking concerned. He's like, "Yeah, where the Bulldogs are they around?" He's so, ugh. And everybody's like, "Oh shit, this kid, liberties were taken, and this kid's gonna trying to fuck up Dynamite." Where's Brett? No, Brett has to be there, right? In the locker room.
86, yeah, he was there.
And Brett describes seeing Mick for the first time and being like, he doesn't even know what the fuck he's looking at. He's so concerned when he sees Mick Foley in his mind for the first time. But he says, he had a right to be pissed off because there's a kind of a rule not to fuck people up. And he says, "Hey, thanks guys for the match. I really appreciate it." And Davey and Bulldog are all like, "Oh, yeah. And then Mick goes into this thing about, by the way, Dynamite Kid, he's paralyzed, and I talked to his ex-wife, and I would like to help him someday." And it's like, Mick, did you not read his fucking book? Do you know what this guy's about?
Okay. This taping, Bret Hart was not on this taping.
Okay.
Do you guys ever watch that match?
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
I've seen it a long time ago. All that ever stands out is when they go Jack Full and he raises his arm. He looks nervous as hell. He's just like, he's fresh.
He looks every bit of having one match under his belt.
Yeah.
I would consider it an honor to try and help him. Okay.
But see, he doesn't mention the other dark match, which was Savage against Shane Douglas. That's an interesting one. Intercontinental title match they bill it as. So fucking Douglas was getting title shots in 86.
He's getting a look. Pat Patterson is stroking his chin, watching in the back. Just his chin. Okay. I was thinking, Larry, I was like, God, is Ben Peller going to pop up? So there was this guy, Ben, who was wrestling under, it would have been around this time-ish. Maybe, I can't remember Ben Peller's career, but I kept thinking, is this guy going to show up as some kind of bit character, Mick Foley's, and he's not even realized, well...
Sorry, no. There's obviously 3 tapings that night. Bret Hart was there, so...
Oh, wow.
You're correct to call him a fucking hypocrite.
Brett would have... Yeah, Brett was a steel trap mine. He was probably standing nearby when we met Jack Foley. Yeah, I jotted down, a kid named Jack Foley came and shook Dynamite's hand after I saw him clobber him. I didn't care for that, but,
But I knew he'd be a star. That was always a Brett thing, too.
Yeah. But I knew something about Jack that day.
Because remember, Brett said, I never watched any other wrestling. But I was watching WCW, and that Steve Austin had some.
Yes. And he's very offended when Ric Flair he says he's never seen anything of Ric Flair.
Yes.
Or was it?
Yeah.
Or does Ric Flair say?
No, remember Flair?
No, Flair's a fan. Yeah, Flair's like,
you're
the greatest wrestler I've ever seen in my life. And then he's like, well, I've actually never seen any of your matches, so click. What a fucking loser. His mom and dad are standing outside the arena. He's like, I'm fucked up. And his mom goes, I thought it was all fake. He talks about getting a picture with Bob Backlund at one of many of the Tommy D shows.
Yeah.
Is it right?
Yeah.
Or no, it's at the high school show. The high school show.
The first show.
He had already talked about it, but they put the picture here.
Yeah, the high school show is Backlund's on there, and Backlund looks happy, which is crazy. I feel like Backlund takes a picture with like a bunch of fans, and he's like, ugh. But yeah,
Paul
weirdly, Paul Heyman is fucking back there. He's going, man, when they say he was a fan, he's out there with like taking pictures from magazine, trying to like just hustle it. He's at a high school.
It's on Long Island, man.
I get, he's making the drive. I mean,
like 2,500, and you had Rick Martel on the card. Who else?
That
was
was
the
a
other
big,
one?
yeah, Sergeant
Yeah,
Slaughter.
god damn. Yeah, he
Slaughter.
got pictures
Yeah,
of them.
that's a show, man.
Do you think that Mick Foley believes Sergeant Slaughter's claims like Brett did?
I bet he doesn't.
Oh, that's all I've got. Did you guys read to 6? Because I only read to 5.
No, that's
No, I
it.
mean, yeah, that's where I dropped off.
But it's pretty
Oh.
gross. The last thing that happens is the day after that squash, he does another set of tapings, and since his fucking jaw's dislocated, he bends his 2 front teeth inwards.
Yep,
That's
because his
fucking-
mouth isn't sitting right.
That's awful.
So, thoughts on it as we've come? Is it living up, or are you, as I was, I'm going through Brett's book and going, this guy's such a fucking...
He's got weird peccadillos, but this is the best fucking written book we've done.
It's light, too. Like I said, a lot of these guys, he's not trying to do what a lot of these guys have been trying to do, which is like, I'm going to write right now, and he's
Yeah,
digging
like
the
Brett
pen into the
always
paper.
had that airy, punchy, reflective paragraph at the end of all of his chapters.
Yes. And
You know,
he's
wrestling was the wrestling gods were looking for a few more young bodies.
like, as our arcs of piss fell through the starlight, and we're like, what's happening? Is this a metaphor, or what are we doing? And then, yeah. I mean, then Larry Sophie's was bad. We talked about it on the Hustler episode. We established that. What happened with that? That's bad. It wasn't even writerly bad. He tried like once or twice. That was just lazy. It was a lazy book. Sorry. He's a listener now. I'll just he's like, I'm still getting fucking buried. Fuck. And then the Larry book, I just always call it the Larry book. It was just
It's a pamphlet. It's fucking,
yeah, he's just like, it's not even writerly. He's just like, I was
One
really
time Sherry showed me her bush, and then I did
I
a
was
bunch
really
of coke.
I was really sweaty and horny this one time. It's like, thanks, Larry. Nice. He's like, yeah, and a wrestler came up to me, and I was like, oh, man. That's awesome. I loved it when he... That lives in my mind when he's sitting in the airport. He's like, yeah, then Hawk rolled up on me and was like, I committed statutory rape. And I was like, oh, no. I'm too hungover for this. Yikes.
Yeah.
Now, is Mick going to have anything like that? When he's like, Droz came over to me and he offered up a crime.
He does talk about scoring crack, but he does not name the
What?
wrestler. Yeah, he said in WCW a guy, I'm going to just assume it was either Mr. Hughes or Scorpio. I'm not
Why are you
casting
profiling
aspersions.
like that? Why are you profiling
No,
like
because
that?
Mr. Hughes one time sold the 4 tires off of his car for crack while it was a rental car.
Which is odd, because that's also, he has famously narcolepsy, right? Like,
That's what they
an
say.
interesting, yeah.
I think
That's
Cornette
formatting it.
told that story. But yeah, Mick said he was riding with the guy for the first time, and he swung by MLK Boulevard. And Mick's like, how do you know how to buy crack here? He's like, you look for MLK Boulevard in any city, and you can buy crack. So that story is in here.
Sean ripped that off.
He did.
It lives in his head. My God. Well, yeah, I'm looking. It doesn't quite have the thing that we've had before in books where I'm like, all right, here we go. It's about to get real fucked up in here. I feel like he's not going to have any needless jabs that we've experienced with everything else.
Maybe not. I remember when he goes to Dallas, things get a little weird.
Yeah, there's some weirdness there for sure that I remember, and I'm kind of interested to reread and kind of re-examine.
Isn't there there is a woman, if I remember right, who thinks he really is...
He kind of
She
dates
thinks
her in
wrestling
character.
real. Yeah, that's weird. That's
Yeah.
weird. I'm curious about that because I remember that the woman that dated him that thought it was real or a shoot.
It sounds like a bad relationship.
That's weird. And then, other than that, I mean, does he have any jabs on anybody other than Ric Flair?
And even the Ric Flair stuff, he's still placating his fragile ego. Like, sandwiching it with compliments.
Bischoff probably gets it, and so does J.J. Dillon. J.J. Dillon gets buried.
Oh, okay.
And the Mil Mascara stuff too, I remember being kind of.
Yeah.
Yes, and I always conflate that because Chris Jericho has a similar, where he's like, I am Mil Mascaras. So nobody has. Does anybody have a good experience with him?
No.
No. I cannot wait for an AEW book to get written. The first one that just absolutely fucking buries Tony Khan. Give it to me. I'm so pumped for it.
We should contact. What's her name? Who was the girl that accused him of being racist? Big Swole.
Big Swole.
Yeah.
We should offer to write her book, but only under the guise of getting that information.
Getting that information. Why does she think he's racist? Which he said he can't be racist because he's. I can't. I'm struggling to think of the country of origin now.
A person of Asian persuasion, if we were.
Yes, sure. Like French. Okay, was Francois Petit the doctor? Was he even really French? At this point, now I'm doubting everything about this man. He's in Sub-Zero in the Mortal Kombat film. Why?
If you're a chiropractor who only works on wrestlers, that is so much falsity in your life.
You're a fake doctor working on fake athletes.
with a fake accent. Meek, you like a crocodile, Meek. And they're like, are you French? Pat Patterson is like, this guy is not French. Tell him.
It says that Petit moved to Spain, and he teaches kung fu or something now.
Can we get him for an interview? At this point, let's get any any dregs we can get. CM Punk said maybe we're a little bit alike. I don't know who would feel comfortable working with someone who just punches people in the face backstage. It's 2023. You can't be doing stuff like that. It's insane.
What?
He's talking. Oh, he's referring to CM Punk, or he's referring to Kevin Owens.
Who?
CM Punk.
Oh, you're watching this promo?
No, I'm not. I'm looking at a Sean Ross Sapp tweet. I know your buddy. I'm sorry. This is a classic Worker Club's ending where it's just evolving, and we already covered.
I enjoyed the random talk on the Hustler cast.
Oh yeah. What did we talk about?
Sopranos talk. And,
oh yeah. Gus, have you seen The Sopranos?
I actually have not.
Holy shit! Now we have to do a Sopranos rewatch with Gus.
Seriously, I have not, so I would be so game. Actually,
oh, fuck,
I have not been exposed to it at all.
Let me bring out the notebook here and write down Gus Sopranos, so I don't forget that one. Get a new page out. Larry, are you ready for that? Gus Sopranos.
I won't act like I wouldn't have fun doing it.
Oh my god. I was just talking to a kid. I was just talking to a kid today, and he was like, "I've never seen Sopranos." I was like, "Fucking what?"
It's got to have a stupid name.
You know what he said though? The kid goes, podcast. "Yeah, well, I do like Goodfellas." Oh, this kid's in for a rude awakening. What would it be? Something.
The Gabagool cast or
Gusagool.
There's like 10 different. Both The Wire, Sopranos, all those, they all have, like 10 different fan podcasts, and all of them have pun names.
My only offering is Gusagool, or it's got to be Gus centric. He's the new guy, or like what is something Tony says a lot? The Ducks.
You're spoiling it. Stop.
What about heavy breathing while eating? My brother and I are obsessed with
That's
that.
That's good. Tony's sex face.
Fucking hell! In that cabin, in the ones when they do the actual he's at the cabin with the Bobby.
And Carmeli gives him the birthday present.
And he's fucking going. Oh my god.
It's disturbing.
But man, this thing. While he's eating over a plate and breathing through his nose, my brother and I are just like, fucking tears in our eyes. I'm like, is this acting or is this just him as a person?
Yes.
Yeah, both. All right. Well, we gotta
Yeah.
schedule that. Okay. All right. Ending it. Bye.
Yeah.
I
With the pain in his life, he likes to take a living cut. And as he wakes with a scream, to all he realizes is just reality. He woke with sweaty hands. Maybe there'll be a change in plans. With a tear in his eye and a gun in his hand. So ends the diary of a working